Alright, so this video is all about triads in inversion. So the last video that I did for you is all about triads in root position. So that's the snowman formation, seeing your third stacked in one line, one vertical line, right? So inversions are a way of musicians using chords to make them a little bit more interesting, change the order of the notes, but not change the order of the notes, but not the notes themselves is the key way, right? So everything that we were talking about is what was in root position in the last video. So that's also the snowman formation. Snowman, right? And when we label those, we're not going to put anything. So that's going to be a nothing label. This will make sense why I'm putting nothing right now. The next one that we're going to do is called first inversion. First inversion triad, and that is going to have a label of a 6. So how we find a first inversion triad, let's just do C major because again it's really easy, right? C, E, G is our C major triad in root position. So we do C major and then we write nothing, right? If we want to make this first inversion, we simply take that C and we just pop it up an octave. So we're left with a chord that looks like this. So C went up top. Now what we do, that's first inversion. That means that we took the C and put it up, and that's going to be labeled as C major 6. So that's what I mean by nothing. There's nothing labeled here. Here we have C major 6. All right. What we can do one more time is do the same thing again. Take your lowest most note here from your 6, right? And we're going to put the E on top. So what you're left with is G, C, E. This is second inversion. Second inversion, and what we're going to label that with is 6, 4. So that's C major 6, 4. All right, hopefully that all makes sense. So simply when we invert something, we take the lowest most note and we just pop it up an octave. And then again, from a first inversion to a second, we're going to do that and pop it up an octave, okay? So a way to also consider this is you can think about your root position as literally your root as the bottommost note or the bass note, right? So root would be root note or scale degree 1 in your bass. First or 6, right, is your third or scale degree 3 in your bass, right? And then second or 6, 4 is your 5th in the bass, right? So these are all of your bass notes, and then these are your labels, or scale degree 5, sorry. And then these are your labels. Root, which is going to be nothing, 6 or 6, 4. Okay. I'm going to go through a few examples of building and identifying a few, okay? So first, let's see if I asked you to build a G major 6. Okay, G major 6. Step 1 is to find just G major, okay? So we're going to build a G major triad. We're going to go G, B, D. Again, make your snowman. And then from there, we're going to make sure that it's major, right? So think in the key of G, we would need an F sharp. None of these are F, so we're good. This is G major. 6, that was first inversion. So that was when we took G as the bass note and we popped it up an octave. So you can actually just erase that G and put it up here. And that is your G major 6. So step 1 is to first just build G major, and then step 2 is to invert it. All right, what we're going to do is now build an E minor 6, 4. Okay, so let's first build E minor. Don't worry about that 6, 4 yet. So E minor, we're going to have E, snowman, E major first. We need a G sharp to make this an E major triad because E has 4 sharps to it. If we want to make it minor, how do we make a major chord minor? We lower that third so sharp becomes natural. If we want to make this 6, 4, we're going to first take that E and pop it up an octave. That would be first inversion or 6. Now we're going to take that G and pop it up an octave and make it 6, 4. So that is E minor 6, 4. So visually, what I always think about too is that first inversion has that little 4th there. Second inversion has the fourth on the lower end. So the larger gap's on the bottom here and the larger gap's on top, however you want to think about it. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually have us identify some. So let's say that you were given, let me think for a moment. Yeah, okay. So if I gave you a C, and then F and A, let's do that, F sharp. Okay. So if you're given this and I say, can you please identify this chord? What you're going to do is step one, make it snowman formation. So this is not snowman formation because this is on a line and those two are on spaces. You want them all on spaces or all on lines, whatever you need to do. So what I'm going to do is actually, I'm going to like off to the side here, think to myself, okay, how can I make that a snowman? All right, we're going to do that. That's a snowman formation. So what I did is actually just pop that C up top there, right? There's your snowman. Next, what I'm going to do is look at the quality. So this is built on F sharp. F sharp major normally would have an A sharp and a C sharp, right? Because F sharp major has everything except B as a sharp. But what happened? These are both natural. So the third was lowered and the fifth was lowered. So what's that? Think back to a different video. If third and fifth were both lowered, that's going to be a diminished triad. So this is an F sharp diminished triad. But I asked to identify this chord, not this one. This one is F sharp diminished, but this one is in an inversion, right? Because it's not in root position. So what I'm going to do now is think, okay, what inversion is it? Well, one, you can think the larger gaps on the bottom here, that might help you. Or also just think about that the fifth of the chord is in the bass. So this is actually second inversion. So this is an F diminished 6-4, right? F sharp diminished, right? F sharp diminished 6-4. Let's do another one. If I were to give you, yeah, this is a good one. All flats. All right, so step one, go off to the side. This is obviously not in snowman. This is not in root, right? Let's go off to the side and make it root. What I'm going to do, an easy way to do this is to just throw that D on the bottom. Keep all your flats, da-da-da, right? Okay, now what we're going to do, we're going to look at it and think about key of D flat major. So that is B, E, A, D, G, 5 flats. All right, what fits in here? Everything except the F, right? So A flat normally happens, and obviously D flat does, right? But the F doesn't normally. So that means, what happened to this? It means that from F natural, it was lowered to F flat. So this is a D flat minor triad. But again, this was not the chord you were asked to identify, it was this one that's in an inversion, right? So what you can do is look what happened to this D. It was popped up an octave. And that means you were given what inversion? So the D was thrown up, or your bottom note's a third, or your largest gap is here. Anything that might lead you to the right answer, that it is a D minor in first inversion. All right, great. So this was all about inverting triads and identifying inverted triads. All right, great.